What is up, Connect 7 family? Welcome to today's episode. My name is Thaddeaus Sims, and I am the host of this podcast. And if you've been listening to this podcast and you've been connecting with me lately, share an episode with a friend, help these people out, get them connected. Now, I have a special announcement. If you haven't heard the special announcement episode before this, I just wanted you guys to know that I will be releasing my new ebook out tomorrow. And the name of the ebook is called The Quiet Season, A Winter Self-Care Guide. So if you have not heard the last episode, definitely check it out. And I'm actually going to talk a little bit about what's in the ebook in this episode. But before we go into that, we're going to do the fun fact. Forrest Finn, an art dealer and author, hid a treasure chest in the Rocky Mountains worth over $1 million. It was found approximately a decade later in 2020. And then I was like, dang, like that's pretty cool. And then I thought, ooh, 2020, like that was the year that we don't really talk about too much. Or is that 2021? That was around the time things started to go crazy. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I'm kind of curious about it. I should probably look more into that. Like, who is this person that said, yeah, bitch, I'm finna go find that treasure chest? Because you crazy enough to go hide it, I will find it. Since you just throwing money away out here in the mountains, who better than me, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. So let's get into this episode. Now, I've been talking with the ancestors. As y'all know, they've been helping me out with the episodes and things like that, sharing their wisdom of how they did things in the old ways, the old days, and things like that. Hopefully they don't beat my ass by saying old, but baby, y'all ain't here no more. So with this, we're staying in winter because it is that winter theme there in the States. And I want to stay on these themes just to get us back in alignment. And so in this episode, we're just talking about how winter is not a time to set goals, but to rest and reflect. And again, if you heard the previous special announcement episode before this, I go into this a bit. But I want to elaborate on this more. So most people, me included, I would set, goals and they die off like in a few weeks. So January 1st, everybody's like, New Year's resolutions. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Yeah, I would set that. And then about like a weekish, week and a half, maybe two, a couple of times after New Year's, bitches started acting weird. Manager pissing me off. New Year, new ass beatings. It was just a lot of things. And so it would just kind of fall out. However, what I realized as well was that it was more than bitches just getting on my nerves. And for you guys, it may be more than just distractions or other things. But what's happening is that you're getting out of rhythm, right? So in nature and with the seasons, everything has a rhythm. And when we're in rhythm, things flow better. We're able to achieve what we want to achieve. We want to make things happen, this, that, and the other. It works out for us. Being out of rhythm, especially in this time and age, that happens a lot. So this is a time to end cycles and to rest. I mentioned ending the cycles and the whole thing about goals and stuff in the last episode. So I'm kind of doing a little switch up into the form of rest because I said that a bit, but I want to elaborate on that because I really feel as though a lot of y'all hoes out here need to rest. And me included, I've had to learn that there's different forms of this rest. And I'm going to share just two of those. And this is from my ebook that's coming out tomorrow. And so just two forms that's in there is there's emotional and social rest. Emotional rest involves giving yourself space and time to process feelings, recharge, and address emotional needs. Activities like journaling, therapy, and meditation can help. Now, I didn't realize like how important this is because I would kind of do it, but to realize like, hey man, this is a form of rest that you need because in a world where we are now, we're easily stimulated by everything. Everything is going on all the time. You know, we got our social medias, you got work, you have your businesses, you have help. If you're spiritual, you got your spirits and things you need to do. You got the spiritual world things going on, baby. If you're in a magical, you got all of this times three. You got the tangible stuff you got to do. You got the spirits with what they got going on. Your spirit about to beat your ass because you got things you need to do. There's some spells you need to start weaving and doing. You know, you kind of got to cleanse some energies. It's a lot, right? And so, in that, you have to find time to rest emotionally. And it's not usually the best time to just get pissed and then work on it, or let it bother you up to such a degree that you work on it. It's just like, okay, let's set that time to journal. Let's set that time to write some things out. And that may not work for you, right? Which is why I put in the ebook as well. There's different activities that you can do to help you with this, because not everybody's the same. Maybe talking your things out. So, like, going to therapy could work. And if you're not on a therapist tip yet, it's fine. Maybe talking with yourself a little bit. I tend to do that. Like, I'll go out in nature for a little bit. I have my headphones in, and I say this all the time on the podcast, and I will talk to myself. I will talk some things out, talk about how I feel. You know, this pissed me off. I was 3 seconds from lighting and blowing all this shit up, and it was just like, we don't want to do that. I kind of do want to do that, but like, let's not do that, because I don't have time to deal with other people in a prison cell. It's not cute. There's that. And I was just like, yeah, let's work on that. So another thing, again, meditation can help. Some people, when they hear meditation, they want to punch the person that suggested it. But for some of y'all who out there, you like meditation, like, take some time to meditate and, reflect on those emotions. But that emotional rest is definitely important. And by you being in the season of winter, and it helps and promotes that, you'll definitely get a lot of gains from it. I know that when I took the time to reflect on emotions, it was just a lot of things coming up for me that made a lot of stuff clear. I found out certain things were not my fault. I found out how certain things could have been passed down, and it was just like, okay, I can be aware of this, and I know how to, work on this. And I also gained tools to manage, that emotional rest. But you don't really get that if you don't rest emotionally, right? And then we're going to the second one, which is social rest. Now, this pertains to finding balance in social interactions and relationships to ensure that these engagements provide support, fulfillment, and energy rather than overwhelm you. I'm gonna pause on that because it's like, I feel as though, especially as a person that just connects with a lot of people, sometimes I'm just like, yeah, let's just do it. And I don't really, not saying I don't really think, but sometimes I just kind of do a bunch of things. But I'm very aware of that, like, social battery. And like, once that bitch starts to get 50% and I start kind of zoning out a little bit, it's like, all right, give me a second. Let me kind of go to myself for a little minute and relax. Like, being aware of that definitely works, because it's like, big events is like, if I know everybody, I'm cool. But if there's a lot of noise going on and I don't really know a lot of people, then that battery is kind of draining a little fast, because it's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go, or I'm gonna go outside for a little minute. Hell, I even find it like sending a text message to someone I do know, but like, bitch, I'm at this party, and like, I don't even know how these people. So yeah, and I felt like that kind of gives me a little bit of a recharge. Not saying that y'all need to, be saying that, but it works for me. So choices like setting healthy boundaries in relationships to prevent, you know, overcommitment or emotional exhaustion, and recognizing the need for solitude and downtime after social interactions to recharge can help you. And those are just some choices you kind of really just have to be aware of and make. I would say that solitude is everything. But if you're not a person that likes to be in solitude like that, just taking those breaks and having those downtimes of like getting away from the event for a little bit and just taking deep breaths and just like chilling out for a bit. Or if you know your social battery is, then is, you're like, okay, yeah, bitch, I'm in red. I need to go before, you know, the way that person looked at me. I feel like she want to fight. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's time to go. You know what I mean? So it's like taking those times to just do that. Just like, again, be aware, don't overcommit. If you tired and you ain't feeling like it, find an alternative. You know what I mean? Just like, hey, I am really tired, but can we do this instead? Like after this is going on, so we have our time. It works out. Saying no works out too as well, but just knowing your boundaries, setting those and things like that, and having that downtime. But again, rest. Take that time to do it. Don't overdo it. Stay home with the dog or turtle, because I don't know, turtles seem to be a thing right now. But take your time, enjoy, rest up, chill out, vibe, and know that you're in the best season to do that. I'm going to give you another thing that I didn't put in my ebook, but this is just something that it just dropped on me, so it could have just been an ancestor saying throw this in there. But one thing about rest is people would say like rest can be productive too. And I was just like, I would hear that and I didn't understand it, but I didn't realize how much of a case that was until I kind of took a moment to look back at those moments of rest. I realized that when you rest, you put yourself in the best space to receive what you need to receive. What I mean by that is that if you just take a moment to just sit the fuck down and rest in the bed or whatever you have to do, solutions will start coming to you, ideas will start coming, inspiration, just so many things just come to you when you're just resting, right? And I didn't realize how important that was because it was just like I would notice that I would do a bunch of stuff, and then when I just stop and just chill, I would have like it was just like this stream of consciousness was just coming in. It was just giving me different things of like, okay, do this. I wrote them down. For me though, when it comes to rest, I take it serious. So I'll write it down so I don't forget, and then afterwards I feel pretty damn good. I'm like, okay, now we can hop on this. But what I'm saying to you, if you're a person that's very like we'll say productive, and you're like, yeah, nah, I just can't really do all of that, I would invite you to just take a moment to figure out which form of rest works for you. So that's in my ebook. There's many different forms. Figure out which one works for you. And I guarantee you'll have a stream of like that consciousness or epiphanies just come to you. And it is productive that way because it's like, I chilled. I got some new insights, some fresh ideas, and I'm good. But I just wanted to share that with you. That just came to me to just drop on y'all because it hits different. It really do hit different when you're just chilling. For me, before I end this, my form of rest, I have a couple of different ones. It just depends on how tired your boy is. But I've noticed when I would lay on the couch, sometimes I would just lay on the couch or just stay in the bed. The best form of rest for me, I've noticed, is like I'll wake up and I'll still stay in bed, blindfold still on, and I just chill in the bed. You gotta go pee, but come back and I just get back in the bed and I just stay there and I'll just meditate and I just let things come to me. And those be the best like solutions that comes in. A lot of emotional shit that'll come up will come to me. I'll get solutions for it. And I just find just staying in the bed helps me. That may not be for you, but that was my form of rest. I also would say another form for me is just going outside and being out in nature, and it's just like it's a different type of rest. I'm getting away from everything, but I'm going out for a walk, and it's not that walk of exercise, but it's that walk of just like, for the senses. And doing that, man, it's as if like the world was like, finally, bitch, like I can tell you what you needed to know, and I'm like, please tell me, because I'm on that verge of blowing this shit up. And I get it. But I encourage you, find your form of rest. And do what you got to do out here and get what you need. I guarantee you, it'll do some things. But like I said, this is the season for it. With that, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, night, morning, evening, and I will talk with y'all soon. Later, later.